All right, I'm here with another video. The idea of this video is what does it mean to be good at something and doing a good job at whatever you're doing and whatnot. So I know I've talked about levels and stuff like that a lot, but this I haven't really talked about. So I'll tell you some of the influences or the the understandings I had when I turned 18. Or maybe a little bit before turning 18 or after 18, I don't remember. But I was trying to look at examples of success. And I remember being younger, I used to think that I saw a little bit, when I was young, UFC and stuff like that was just flourishing. But even before it was, I used to think that martial arts were kind of cool. I saw some martial arts documentaries. I was not into any martial art movies, Jet Li or Bruce Lee or any of that. I can't watch 5 minutes of that shit. It just bores me out of my mind. But I thought that shit was really cool, you know. I saw stuff on martial. I saw documentaries on martial arts all over the world. To be very honest, if you know your stuff, even if you don't, if you're a learner and you like learning about international or world issues, and you're listening that you're learning history, you're learning nature. It's only natural that you're gonna learn about martial arts. I remember Discovery Channel always had something on at some point or another. Discovery or on martial arts. It's very important. I'm not saying it's that, but I mean it's I should say it's significant enough or relevant enough for us to at least have some kind of broad knowledge, and that's what I had, and I thought it was really cool. So I used to think to myself, man, the most toughest martial art I can think of has to be Muay Thai, which is thigh kick style kickboxing, which is where they use a lot of knees. You can knee the guy to his face, you can knee the guy to his legs, you can knee the guy to his back, his stomach, doesn't matter. Okay, you can kick him anywhere. Okay, it's a brutal sport. And injuries plague guys. They can't make it out of it. It's a horrible life. It's a horrible story for the guys that do that stuff with the illegal gambling rings and everything. Like that is one of the worst things you ever want to do. Now, me initially thinking that was because I was young, 17, turning 18. And at 17, turning 18, I thought that was the coolest thing. And I thought they were the baddest. And when I really thought about it later, I'm like, these guys don't make money for shit, man. You know what I mean? None of these guys, even their champions, are not making shit at all. It's a horrid life. They're sleeping on the floor even after winning the championship. They sleep on floors. They sweep the gyms and clean the gyms and train people with money. Travelers who come by or rich businessmen who say, hey, I'll give you $50 for one lesson. For an hour, give me a private lesson, teach me everything you know. That's how they make them. Like, it's a horrible life. So I think I turned 18 and I thought I turned my adorance to boxing. And because boxing, there was a lot of money. You know what I mean? Hearing about how Mike Tyson made millions and millions of dollars. You know what I mean? It always rung in my mind. Guys like Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, after winning the gold medal, it's a famous story. He went to a restaurant where the whites said that you can't eat here. So he went out to the nearest river, took his gold medal, and threw it into that river or lake, whatever it was, as you know what I mean, as his distaste. But again, he made a lot of money. So if a guy like that is making a lot of money, it makes me think I can make money. If a guy like Mike Tyson is making money, I think I can make money. I got into Tyson before I got into his movie. I watched it's a classical old movie. I forgot the guy's name. It's one of the classic older movies about Tyson's life. It's very nice. I think they actually shoot it in places that Mike Tyson actually was at the time. It's very realistic. It's supposed to be as factual as possible. Okay, I also watched Don King's movie, the movie on Don King as well. Okay, so I'm thinking Tyson's making a lot of money. This is a guy to to idolize, maybe not idolize, but to look up to, and to look up to as an example, and maybe something to follow for success, as a, not necessarily in boxing, but just in my life to follow as success. So I remember he had a video. No, first of all, he was very successful, okay? Boxing, like, I mean, when you're younger, like, something like that just makes your blood, like, it makes you nervous, you know? It just, when you think about fighting, you think about, like, all the injuries you can get, how bad it can be, you know what I mean? You just, you know what I mean? You don't think of it that way. So that's why it seems so, oh, this guy's so tough and so successful. But other than those tough guys who are broke as fuck and living horrible lives, he's actually making millions of dollars and partying, and he dated a movie star and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So he was somebody that I thought to look at his model. Now, aside from his movie and everything, I think the video is still there. It was my favorite Mike Tyson video. It was about 6 minutes long. It was a short clip during one of his training camps that some interviewer made. It was amazing. So every day, he has a 6-week training camp before his championship fight, or before his fight. He wakes up at 4 a.m. Something he was doing since he was 13 years old, when he was practicing, when he was boxing in the amateurs. This guy was by the way, before he had his first amateur fight, he was actually crying. And that video is up there. Before his first fight, he was so nervous that he was crying before the fight. And they were trying to console him and trying to support him, which is kind of a little overboard. But anyways, what do you call it? The video was like every day of the week, he wakes up 4 a.m. when it's dark out there to go for a run, which I thought was insane, running miles at it every day. I thought that was totally insane, right? But he said that was part of what made him so good and everything. And you know, he did your typical workout. But the thing that I remember is he said that, you know, I feel nervous when the fight's coming up. I feel scared about how the outcome will be. I'm worried about losing. But what he said was that I prepare so well for it, that I train so hard for it, that by the time it comes, I just can't wait to just finish it up. You know what I mean? And I remember him talking about that. Do I live by those morals today? No, I don't. But I like using that as an example because I believed in anything. Because I felt like if he could apply to that, I could apply it to anything. But the way I saw it was that if you put the work in, you will always get a return out of it. Now, a lot of people say that's true, but that's basic, and everybody knows that, and that's nothing new. But for me, that was something big. You put the work in, and you'll get results. Is that a basic level thinking? Absolutely. Is that the way I think now? Absolutely not. But that's what I want to talk about. Listen, you know, to me, when you are genuine, listen. Oh, I got the other example. Okay, everybody's heard about this. When a tree falls in the forest, it could be the biggest, it could be, like 50 feet high or something? It could be a 50-foot high tree, a big, thick tree, big logger, right? And it could fall, right? Because things happen. I mean, you got, I don't know if it's a, whatever. The tree falls. Nobody hears it. Nobody's around to hear it. Did it make a sound? It did. I used to hear that as a kid, and typically they would tell you it didn't make a sound because there was no witness. Nobody saw it, nobody heard it, so it never happened. That's bullshit. I can tell you from a more mature perspective today that that tree not only made a sound, but it had an impact throughout that forest. Okay, so I've told you that, even if nobody was there to hear it. Now, you know, so I do believe in, now I've taken a bit, I still do sort of, I do believe that if you put in the right amount of work, right? Now, okay, so I'll tell you another thing. Okay, so I used to follow, I really got into boxing, really started to understand how they felt, you know? And I remember there were guys who were so talented, and this is a story of the tortoise and the hare. They were so talented, but a lesser guy, a guy who was not even half as talented as them, managed to beat the guy because he trained hard. The other guy didn't train hard, thinking it's going to be easy, and he got an upset. And that has happened, and it's the tortoise and the hare story. And I remember that, and I was always scared. I used to always think, and I mean, I don't know if it's the way people made me feel or what the case was, but I always felt like I already had all the talent I needed. You know what I mean? Like I was already at an upper echelon where I could learn faster and be way better than other people very easily. But I felt like if I incorporated the hard work into that, and I could incorporate that into my model, I could be so successful at anything. I really believe that. Because typically more talented people tend to be lazier, to be very honest, just like that tortoise in the hare. So if I could be as hardworking as a tortoise and as talented as a hare, I mean, there was no stopping me. That's the way I believe. Do I still believe that? Not really. I'm way past that. Today I've gotten to a level where none of that is even relevant. I'm at a level where it just takes so much more, to be at that level. You forget about all these stupid little quotes. Michael Jordan saying, I knew, he had a quote, I've missed a lot of game finishers or whatever, buzzer beaters or whatever, but that's the reason I succeed. I don't know, something like that, right? He missed a lot of shots, but he keeps taking them. That's why he succeeds. That was something like what he said. I'm at a level where I don't even think about that. For me, sports is purely for fun. Even if I perform very well, it's all for fun for me. You know what I mean? Now, granted, I would like to be in a better position. I'm not in the best of position and situation right now. I'd like to have, some really nice shoes for a sport so that I don't friggin' kill my feet and I can't walk the next day because I'm playing in the wrong kind of shoes or something. You know what I mean? But granted that, I mean, to me, sports is just at a fun level. It is. I wouldn't take sports seriously. I did take it seriously as a kid. I used to think of it as seriously as a kid. I don't think of it that serious now. To me, and I'm not against it. Like, I love the whole fans get together, watch the stadium and all that. The jerseys are cool. Guys do cool moves and stuff. To me, I like all that. Yeah, I genuinely like all that. But to me, it's more just for fun. I feel like at the level I am at today, I can't even use my past experiences. A little bit I can, but I can't really use my past experiences and your typical, Bill Gates said this. Oh, Michael Jordan said that. Who's a really respected guy? Oh, Abraham Lincoln said this. Oh, Winston Churchill said that. Like, I could give a fuck. I could give a fuck about Napoleon Bonaparte. I could give a fuck about Alexander the Great. I really don't give a fuck about any of that stuff, any of them, or anything like that. At the level that I'm living at today, I mean, I feel like I'm at a whole other level where none of that even applies to anything. Now, how do I wrap? Okay, so how do I go forward with this content? Is that, at this point, what I'm trying to say is that, dude, there is, just like that tree fell and made a sound. Okay, your work is not going unnoticed. You do your work and you put your effort, which is fine. But at this level, I feel like, it's just very, very easy to get. It's like if a guy at a basic level has a decent life, and a guy at a very good level, which would be like down to here for me, a guy at this level is a millionaire, or he's made millions of dollars and he has a very nice life and successful life, and he's down here. For me to be up here, right? For me to be like up here, and this guy is living millions of dollars, decent, comfortable, happy life, and I'm here, I should at least be able to get that. You know what I mean? If I'm all the way up here, this guy is here, a basic level guy still, but it's like right now in my situation, my shoes, I'm like, I can't even, you wouldn't even see my hand on the camera at this point. That's how low I am. So I'm feeling like if I'm up here and this guy is at a decent level, right? Millions of dollars, good life, somewhat of a social life, party life, happy guy. And I'm at this level, what I'm thinking, why is a guy at this level this much higher? You know what I mean? And that's what this is really about, is that, I feel like there's no way I cannot be recognized. I mean, your level is very obvious, not to everybody, but it is understood and felt. You know what I mean? I'm putting a video out there for the public, everyone to see, or maybe just my subscribers, or for some people to see, but it's there. I mean, the tree's falling and you hear the sound. You know what I mean? And everything I'm doing, is very easily there. So anyways, that's what it was really about, and that's what I wanted to talk about. And I'm running out of time, and I'm not gonna do a second part. So we'll call it a vid here.